that People Power Front is a legitimate entity that has been duly registered with the Electoral Commission, the regulator of political institutions or parties in Uganda. And People Power does not contradict itself in identity with any existing political party or institution in Uganda ever since the history of political parties or institutions in Uganda. Why do I say is not in contradiction or in contravention? When you are registering political parties, I think the regulations that are provided by the Electoral Commission for any person or group of people interested in identifying themselves as a political party. And part of this, you have to apply for reservation of your identities and all that stuff. Now for People Power Front, we followed all these, and one of the stages was application, and these applications were received, and there was due diligence to investigate or to check whether the things with which we were applying were already registered or gazetted by other political institutions within Uganda. But then we realized that these were symbols, identities, and names that were not gazetted or reserved by any other political institution. If you go back to the Electoral Commission systems or databases, you will find these symbols and identities only identifiable or registered by the People Power Front, including the name. The name itself is People Power Front. And then the slogan is People Power, Our Power. And these are entities that, or identities that we have registered legally with the Electoral Commission. If these were not done, we would not be doing what we're doing now, including they can run the affairs of this nation single-handedly as a political party. But we see how this has boomeranged, and we see how this has trickled down in affecting the last man down there, who should be at the core of our interest as politicians, if I can say so. Now, we have come with an alternative political ideology. We are saying, can we try to be inclusive? What do we mean by inclusivity? When we say inclusive, we are looking at being accommodative of different views, being in a manner of working in a dialoguing or collectively. Say, for example, People Power Front could be working with other political institutions. You can name them around Uganda. And that way we could put heads together to change a lot of things in our nation today. And basically, there is a lot that people intend to go onto. Like, say, for example, if we ignite a conversation on simple identity, on simple, I would say, symbols of the party, why would you not engage this entire energy in discussing better ideologies that can lead to the transformation of this nation? Should we go into such pettiness in discussion? But rather see into it, what have we packaged to deliver to our nationals, to Ugandans in terms of ideology? Which ideology becomes so palatable? Why would it be palatable to them? Because it aligns itself as a solution to the problems that they're currently facing. Okay? So we would not want to really look at ourselves as an antagonist in this political field. We would want to look at us as another force that has come in to reinforce, might be even reinforced in a better manner, to avail another alternative, which Ugandans can say, at least now, we think relief is coming. At least the real meaning of power going back to the people is coming. Because at the end of it all, if you say we are striving very hard to give power back to the people, what does it mean in our local sense? What would it mean to a local man down there? How does your decision stand? What factors influence what you decide on doing? Feeding, the school you go to, the medical service you receive, and all that stuff. This would be the real meaning of power belonging to the people. But basically, you would find many people have been disenfranchised. And us as cadres, the likes of Spartans with whom we have worked in the political field for quite a long time, right from People Power to NUP and now the People Power Front, we are saying there are certain values with which we want to align our political ideologies. Now, among these, we'll look at things like, as I said, we want to be inclusive in our engagements, political engagements, in acknowledgement of our little might. Once combined with others, would really make a lot of sense. Now I would want to put it out there. I know there's a lot of rumor going out there that probably there could be rumor going that People Power Front is just a coy that has been brought on board by the ruling government. Trust me, we have nothing to do with the ruling government. But we shall have everything to do with them if they align their strategies to our ideology. And that goes to any other person out there. We are operating on principle and ideology. And I want to put this on public media, that we do not receive any support. We are not being funded in any way. It's real. For my fellow Baganda around here, People Power Dollar. For people around there who speak my language, People Power Tandi. It is for people, it is for money, it is for poetry, modula, amantikiri. Or the four middle. There could be some propaganda which is emanating from intentions that have been expressed, or some unfulfilled expressions that have not been acknowledged by the Electoral Commission in sharing our identity. Because I would proudly put it out here that the identity People Power Front belongs to us. The logo, which is the symbol, which is a cleft fist, belongs to us, which of course brings us to the logo, which is a clenched fist, which is encircled with our colors, and which colors are all presented. People Power Front has been duly registered by the Electoral Commission with all its symbols. Every other thing that we're using out there to identify ourselves is legally registered by the Electoral Commission. And I want to put it that maybe there's something we can do about changing the status of our community out there. There are those who have been branded as hooligans. Sometimes we want to ask ourselves the question, why are they engaged in hooliganism? What have we done better to save them from that state? Maybe from these hooligans, there could be something better that we can do. We can transform their lives. What strategies and avenues have we put in place to try to change their lives, other than castigating them? Maybe if there's something better that comes out of a hooligan who has been able to put minds together to try to see if the nation can be governed based on fair and good principles which are surrounded with values of inclusivity and all that stuff, then it will be good. And then there are issues of membership. There are issues of membership. When we talk of membership, our membership is to all the nationals who are above the age of 18, regardless of their cultural, traditional, or religious background, even social class. But we're saying all these people who are Ugandans and are at the age of 18 and above qualify as members. Now you're going to find that even in this membership, we're going to attract people from different political parties, including the ruling government. There are people in the ruling government who are going to identify themselves with our ideology, and we're going to continue welcoming them. There are people from the opposition political fraternity who are going to identify themselves perfectly well with our ideology. We're going to welcome them. So if there are any controversies that are coming as a result of membership, then I would want us to treat them with the lack of seriousness they deserve to be treated with, because those are diversionary. They are trying to take us away from the ideology that we're trying to build and establish in Uganda, to bring a new face to Uganda, so that we become the pearl of Africa that we deserve to be. We do not become that country where somebody says, I'm from Uganda, and others are saying, hey, that country. No, we want to change that scenario. We want people to be proud of Uganda. Thank you very much.